This is The Work of Love, a place to talk honestly about attachment, loss, boundaries, and the quiet inner work that makes healthy, loving relationships possible. The episode today is called How to Really Apologize so healing can actually happen. Here's the thing, you may have noticed that most apologies are not really apologies. You may have experienced someone coming to you and saying, hey, I'm sorry about this and I'm sorry about that. And you're left like, okay, like that doesn't really mean anything to me. And that person may feel better, but you're feeling worse. Apologies are not lists or explanations. It's not like, sorry. A real apology is all about facing the consequences of what we did, coming face to face with what actually happened there. And it's not so much about getting forgiveness, although it's nice to get it, but it's about taking responsibility. And when it's done right, both people, the person asking or saying I am sorry in the right way and the person who receives the apology will feel better. So we're going to break it into steps to make it easier. The first one would be to consider and maybe even talk to other people. If I do this, will this cause more harm to them, to me, or to any other person? Say, for example, the case in which a husband cheated on a wife and they are now long divorced. Would that be okay to go back and say, hey, I want to apologize? Or would that reopen a wound? That's a classic example. So it's good to see that in this case, it may be better to do a different kind of amends. And we'll talk about it in another episode. But for now, this is the first step and it's very important because you do need to know that you're going to create a healing space rather than reopening all wounds from another person. The second step is to ask for consent. Let's make an example. Say that somebody stole money from a business partner and then they haven't spoken in a year or two. And now this person, the one who stole the money, wants to make an amends. The step number 2 is to look and ask for consent. So it could be this person can make a phone call, talk to this person if they pick up the phone, because not picking up the phone is also a boundary. But say they pick up, this person would say, would you be willing to sit down with me for 30 minutes because I would like to apologize for something. Not getting into the details. This is just about consent. We know no one's going to get hurt, but we need to know that this person is willing, is ready, is able to sit down with you and hear you out because they will be already sore from what happened. Asking them first and making sure that they agree is important. Do not, under any circumstances, do the apology right there. This is just to make a sort of date, a gathering for a cup of coffee where you can have a conversation as adults to make things better, hopefully. When you ask for this, be ready for no. The person has every right to say, no, I do not want to talk to you. That's fine. And there is no follow-up pressure, no trying to convince them. No is no. But if they say yes, then you set up a time and a place. And now you have to be ready to hear the consequences of the actions. And this isn't a bad thing. You will see that when apologies are done right, there is a release that happens within both people, the person making the apology and the person receiving it. Let's go with the case in which they say yes. Now for the fourth step in this, we're going to meet this person, but meet with intention. So be on time, right? Respecting the time of this person. When you sit down, there will be very minimal chit chat, because we have to get to the point. This person is likely not so happy to see us, but they may be curious. So rehashing the past or talking about other things is not helpful at this point. We came here to do one thing, and that takes us to step 5. We're going to name what we did. A year ago, I stole $10,000 from you. No justifying, no backstory, no, I did it because, no explanation, because that's very tempting to say, I was going through a rough time. That's not an apology. So it's very to the point. Last year, I stole $10,000 from you. period. That's what happened, the reality of it. They will have a reaction. That's up to them. They can stand up and leave. Whatever they do is their inner work. The step number 6, if this person says nothing, which either they'll say, yes, I know you did. They'll get angry, which is justified. Or they will say, to keep listening. Or who knows what they will say. But the next step for you in apologizing would be to say, would you be willing to tell me how you felt when that happened, or how did it affect you? Here is where the courage to listen has to come in, because this is a moment where we're actually facing the consequences of our actions. So can you now listen, hear it, hear the person? One thing this person could say is, when you took that money away, I wasn't able to take the trip that I had been dreaming with for years. Or when you took that money away, I wasn't able to finish my medical treatment. Wow, right? Hearing things like this is actually facing the consequences of our actions. It's like a knife in the heart. Oh my God, what have I done? That's when the actual remorse becomes real. Because here's where the consequences are felt in your flesh and bone. So now you can say, I am so sorry. This remorse that you feel now is real. It's not a simple, hey, I'm sorry I did that. This is actually learning what I actually did. And that's the 8th step, is to express the remorse. And then there will be some relief at this point, because the person is heard and they understand that the apology is coming from a place that is real. It's not just something that wasn't thought about. It was very deliberate. So once you say, I'm really sorry, they may say, sure, no problem, or whatever they may say, just listen. And then step number 9 is to say, how can I make it right? Notice how that is different from saying, if there's anything I can do. That is an open question, which frankly, I don't even know why people use it, because the answer I hear 90% of the time is no, you can't. No, there's nothing you can do. But if we say, how can I make this right? That changes the meaning of the sentence. Not if there's anything I can do, which is vague, but how can I make this right? Which will invite the other person to think about it. This person may say, you could give me the $10,000 back. That would be a way to make it up to them. That's a reasonable request. And so the step number 10 is to do that, to follow through. Now you may say, suppose I did steal $10,000. Suppose I do not have $10,000. That is a valid question. But there's always a way to follow through with this 10th step, which is to do it in a way in which you can. So you may say, look, I don't have $10,000 now. However, I can pay $500 a month for so many months until the debt is covered. There is always a way to make things right. But the truth is, it has to come from them, because they may also say, oh, don't worry, this is water under the bridge. I just don't want to see you again. I don't know what they're going to say. The point is to listen and then to find a way to make it right, to do what they're asking. That will cause a whole cycle of healing. And as you can probably tell by now, making a real apology is not that simple. It requires work. But if you can do it this way, you're bringing peace into the world. You're healing wounds, and you're healing your own wounds. So it's good for the person to listen and to feel relief, but the relief will mostly go to you. You know that you took responsibility, and that will let you off the hook. Even if you never see this person again, something will settle inside, and that's the relief moment. Here's a quick recap of the steps. 1, make sure that you won't cause more harm. 2, ask for consent and to meet. 3, respect the answer. If they say, I don't want to meet, you don't. If they do, then number 4, you meet with intention. You're on time, minimal chit-chat, just go to the point. Number 5, name what you did plainly. And then ask the question, would you be willing to tell me how this affected you? And that's where we face the consequences. When we listen, we have to have the capacity, the fortitude to listen. That's step 7, listen, because that's where the alchemy happens. Then 8, express the real remorse, because now you know. 9, ask how can you make it right. And 10, do what they say. That is all for today. Take what was useful and leave the rest. And let the work keep unfolding in your own time.